Did you know that there are many different signs that your mental health might need some tender loving care? Today I'm going to share just a few of the most common warning signs and what to do if you notice them. Here comes the intro and then let's talk. Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Mental Health TV. I'm Jeremy Godwin, thanks for joining me. How do you know the difference between having a few bad days or weeks and something that might be a sign of bigger issues with your mental health? Well, let me start by saying that there is no single guide that I can give you that will magically tell you whether or not you're okay, because each of us is unique and your circumstances are completely unique. And there are also lots and lots of different potential warning signs. So if I was to try and list them all here, this would be a 64-hour video, and I don't think anybody really wants to watch that. But there are some fairly standard warning signs for the more common mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. And so that's what I'm focusing on today. Stick around to the end because I'll be sharing an online tool that can help you to assess your current mental health to help you decide what to do next if you need to. Before we go any further, a quick disclaimer, this is general information only, and if you think that you may have an issue, then it really is vitally important that you speak with a doctor or healthcare professional as soon as possible. Please don't leave things too late, as serious mental health conditions can have a habit of deteriorating quite quickly if left untreated. So if you are dealing with severe issues, please don't try just to self-medicate with crystals, mung beans, and reruns of Oprah. Now, on with the signs to be aware of. And let me say here that as a general guideline, if you've been experiencing any of these that I'm about to list for 2 consecutive weeks or more, then it's time to talk to a doctor. Like now. Well, I mean, maybe at the end of this video, but you get my point. So, sign number 1 is feeling anxious or worried for a prolonged period. Stress and worry are natural parts of life, but when it drags on for weeks, and a good guide is for 2 weeks or more, and if you're then unable to overcome it even after that amount of time, there may be an issue. Now, anxiety isn't just about feeling worried. It has lots of physical symptoms too, like sweating, trembling, dizziness, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, headaches, racing thoughts, and even potentially diarrhea. So if you're experiencing those types of symptoms on an ongoing basis, what do you do about it? Go and see your doctor and have an honest conversation with them about everything that you've been experiencing. Some of these things that are physically focused may be symptomatic of a physical issue, but it's also possible if it's been combined with ongoing anxiety and worry that it could be related to a mental health challenge. So go talk to your doctor. Now, like other conditions, that may also involve my next point, which is sign number 2, sleep problems. If you find yourself sleeping too much or too little on an ongoing basis, it could be a sign of depression or a sleep disorder. I don't know about you, but when my sleep is messed up, I get cranky like the Incredible Hulk every time he realizes that he's ripped a new outfit to shreds. Jeremy smash! So if that's happening to you, what can you do about it? Well, keep a sleep journal for a week or 2 to document your sleep patterns, or lack thereof, and then go and talk to your doctor about it. They might refer you to a sleep specialist if necessary. Like in my last point, it's really important that you have an honest conversation with them about everything that you've been experiencing. So if there's trouble at work, if there's trouble at home, all of that stuff, you need to bring that into the conversation as well. If you just tell them, I'm having trouble sleeping, that's what they will respond to. So it's very important that you are as open and honest as possible. And that will enable them to help you work through and diagnose the potential root cause of your issues. Sign number 3 is sudden and dramatic emotional outbursts. Look, let's be honest, it's hard sometimes not to get pissed off with other people or just random things that happen in the world. Hey, drive the bloody speed limit, you're not a turtle! But when you experience extreme mood swings, like being angry or highly distressed for long periods of time and suddenly, it might be a sign of a deeper issue, especially if you find it difficult or almost impossible to regulate those mood swings. Some mental health disorders can be associated with chemical imbalances in our brain, so the way to manage ongoing challenges with mood swings is, surprise, surprise, to go and talk to your doctor. Tell them everything that's been going on and don't hold back even if it feels really embarrassing. Trust me, they've heard worse. And speaking of a bit embarrassing, sign number 4 is significant changes in sex drive. We're all adults here, so let's have an honest conversation, shall we? If your sex drive has changed over a prolonged period of time, either increasing or decreasing significantly, again, that is a possible sign of something going on in your body and your mind. We're all a swirling mass of chemicals, and so these sorts of changes can often be a sign of something much deeper going on. How do you deal with it? You guessed it. Talk to your doctor. Sign number 5, feeling completely unlike yourself. You know you better than anyone else knows you, and certainly more than I know you, you know? If you feel off and as though something isn't quite right, then maybe something isn't quite right. Perhaps you are drinking a lot more than you usually do, or eating a lot more, or a lot less. Perhaps you don't find enjoyment or pleasure in the things that you used to. Maybe you don't want to socialise much, although, you know, with Uncle Rona still kicking about like a toddler in a sandpit, that might be perfectly understandable. Perhaps you've been hitting the booze like you're trying out to be in a hard rock band. Maybe you have aches and pains everywhere, or a constant feeling of malaise. Maybe you just cannot physically drag yourself off the couch to even put your washing away, and now you're surrounded by so many socks that may or may not be multiplying like gremlins exposed to water. Either way, it's time to do something about it. Pick up the phone and make an appointment with your doctor so that you can talk about what you're feeling. Even with talking to your doctor, there is no magic cure that they can give you, and even if they do potentially prescribe you with treatment like medication, it can take upwards of 3 to 6 months to find the right type and dosage for your situation. So be patient. This is about taking baby steps. The first step is to talk to a professional. Now, most episodes I do a bonus tip, and this is sort of one of those, but it's also general advice about your mental health and well-being. Prevention is better than cure, and the second best option is early intervention. When it comes to severe mental health issues, they can deteriorate quite rapidly. So it's really important that if you are struggling for a prolonged period of time, talk to someone. So please don't delay, because the longer you delay, the more you put yourself at risk. So to summarize, 5 of the common signs that you might be dealing with mental health issues are feeling anxious or worried for a prolonged period, having sleep problems, sudden and dramatic emotional outbursts, significant changes in sex drive, and feeling completely unlike yourself. And as I said at the start of the episode, there are many more. If you're experiencing any of those symptoms for 2 or more weeks, talk to a healthcare professional immediately. You may also find it helpful to complete the K10 Anxiety and Depression Checklist, which is a short checklist that's used by Australian doctors to begin to understand what support you might need. Now, it's a guide only, and you shouldn't be relying on it solely. Please make sure that you do talk to a professional for ongoing issues, but it's a good, quick tool to help you see where you're at. The link is in the description below to find the K10 on the Beyond Blue website, which is a fantastic Australian mental health organisation. You can access the checklist regardless of what country you live in. So that's it for this week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and share any ideas that you have for dealing with this stuff as early as possible. Thanks so much for joining me, and talk to you next time. For more great content, subscribe to the channel by clicking the logo here, and check out this video that you might like. Catch the weekly podcast every Sunday, and find even more content at letstalkaboutmentalhealth.com.au, along with exclusive daily stuff on social media. Thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.